crushing it today, having an absolute blast. It was a beautiful day today too. The sun was out, which is a rarity here in Kelowna in the winter, and I was definitely soaking that in. Yeah, last recap of yesterday. I mean, that talk at Revelry for the crime and safety community town hall meeting, it was really great. It was good to just hear the opinions of so many people in the community here that are affected. Like the amount of people that are scared to just go downtown. Like nobody wants to go downtown to these businesses. They don't want to spend their money there anymore because they don't feel safe. They go downtown and there's like people walking down the streets with like knives in their hands, needles. People are smoking crack like right in broad daylight, and the cops aren't doing anything. And maybe it's because they're understaffed and overworked or something, but it's madness. It's crazy. And like hearing the stories from other people in the community, like this one lady, like she was crying while she was talking just about how unsafe she felt in the community. Another lady was talking about how she doesn't even feel safe walking from her door to the bus because there's sometimes people literally setting up tents in her front lawn or on her driveway. She can't even walk to the bus stop. And then another lady who runs a retirement center was saying the same thing. The people who are retired there, the older folks, they don't leave their homes because they're scared to leave. They don't want to go anywhere. And that's completely unacceptable for a town like Kelowna that's got so many things going on here. And we've got so many businesses that are open, small businesses that need foot traffic, that need people showing up there, going to their restaurants or going to their bookstores or, all the things. So it was wild to hear. And I do want to give props to, there was a guy who runs an organization called Freedom Door. And he was saying that their organization helps people get off the streets and out of homelessness and get jobs. And they have a 98% rate of people that come into their recovery center and turn their lives around, which is just phenomenal. And I think the government needs to be supporting those types of places way more. There was also even like people there that they were like, hey, I was homeless for a couple of years and now I'm off the streets because I was able to find purpose, get a job, and, make something of their lives and turn things around. So that was a beautiful thing to hear. And then hearing them talk about what they need, and then also the stigma around how they're being treated. A lot of people are suffering from mental health and addiction issues, but not getting the support that they need, and talking about how, trying to get into these support programs, it can take like, you're on a waiting list for like a month and you have to call this certain number like every single day to check in. And some days when you're on the streets, like you don't have a phone, or your phone gets stolen because somebody steals it from you while you're sleeping. There's like, they deal with so much on the street. So I have compassion for the people that are going through it. Not everybody's bad, but when they're put in these positions where it's like fight or flight, and they're living to survive, they're in survival mode. And the lady was saying, she's like, if I have, if it's cold at night and, I can't get warm, and it's the difference between me stealing a candle and not stealing a candle, I'm stealing that candle so that I can stay warm. And that's just a really sad position that people are in. And we need to do more. We need to do more to help people. The one thing that upset me last night was it was a town hall put on by the Conservatives. And, it was basically people preaching to the choir. Like the Conservative government wants to make changes, and it's the liberal government that's in power right now that's putting all these bills into effect and making all these laws that are like the revolving door situation for people who go to jails, and they just let them out. They're talking about a jail in Oliver or Osoyo, somewhere close by here, that has a 25% occupancy, which means 25% of the jail has people in it. 75% are empty cells. And they could easily turn that around and start utilizing those cells as recovery centers for people who are dealing with addictions. Use the space. They spent millions and millions of dollars for this facility to just sit there? Like, no. And I'm not suggesting that we need to jail everybody. I don't think that jail is necessarily the answer. I feel like a lot of jails, when you're a criminal, you go to jail and you leave becoming a better criminal because you're surrounded by other people that are in that system. And not to label people criminals too. I'm a criminal, or was a criminal. I've been in jail, and I know from the experience of being in there, you're surrounded by other people that are doing crimes, and some are better than you at doing crimes, and they'll let you know. Some people aren't so good, and that's why they're generally in jail, because they messed up or got caught somewhere along the way. I don't mean to laugh, but that's the truth of the situation. Anyway, my point is here about the conservatives running this town hall is that it was people in the community just preaching to the choir. Like, we needed to have a dual discussion with liberals on stage and conservatives so that people could voice their opinions to the people who actually can make change. The conservatives are just advocating for what the people want, but they can't actually do anything because they're not in power right now. And we need the liberals there, and we also need the NDP, because the NDP are the people who got voted in for BC on the provincial level for our province. So they're the ones with all the red tape that we need to cut through to get things done. And what is the point of just talking about stuff? And that was the big thing a lot of people were saying in the crowd, was just they're upset because they see these politicians up there talking and talking, but nothing gets actually done. And this is a conversation where people are just, complaining in a sense about what's wrong, with no real solutions and no way to get to the other side of this problem. So that's my thoughts on the whole situation. Anyway, it's been an awesome day. Crushing it here. Just signed 3 new coaching clients to my Level Up coaching program. Stoked on that. I'm just chilling in my unit right here because I Airbnb out my main house sometimes and somebody booked it for the weekend. So I'm just chilling, getting my reps in, kicking it with the little Nala over there, and having a yogurt parfait. Yeah. I hope you're having an awesome day. I hope these videos help give you some insight into my life and the things that I do on a daily basis. Anyway, we'll see how the evening goes here. I might pop on again to chat for a bit, but for now, that's really all I got for this day. All right. Much love. I think we're at day 8 or day 9 or something now. I gotta get better at knowing exactly what day we're on when I do these videos. But anyway, much love. Thanks for watching. Share, subscribe, all those things. Can't miss out on getting it in every day. Stay committed to your commitments. Or else what are they? Hopes and dreams. But eventually things are going to change. But eventually things are going to get better. You got to put the time in. You got to put the work in. That goes with everything in your relationships, your personal life, your business, your physical, your mental, your spiritual. You decide, what are you going to do with your time, with your money, with your energy, and with your resources? Stay committed. I'm on a path right now. I'm on a path of personal well-being and absolute excellence, to get in the best shape of my life, to stay in peak physical performance, to be able to exercise my mind every single day, which is why I read every day, why I listen to audiobooks consistently, why I feed myself filled with podcasts, learning podcasts that can help me elevate and reach higher levels in all things in my life, all areas. I don't just listen to one, I listen to a bunch, and then I also entertain myself. I listen to some comedy ones as well, just for fun and for some laughs. So, work at it. All right, my homie's calling. I'll let you go.